the CIO, is with us and has been with us before. Phil Klokis, how are you?
Jerry, how are you? Nice
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Come a little closer in so we're both
sure.
in frame. So what are you seeing at this year's RealCom?
Innovation. You know, I think that's really what this is all about, and I think Jim and Howard have done a great job in bringing the real estate organizations and the IT organizations from around the country into here, into Silicon Valley, to learn and to collaborate with the great minds here at Silicon Valley. So
it's great that we made it to here.
Yeah. You know, I was joking with Jim. I said, you know, it's about time we finally got here at the, you know, on the stage here with the big players.
It's
you
great.
know. So it is really exciting, and that's what I've learned. There's just so much here to learn, and the technologies that you see here are just amazing.
What are the big themes you're focusing on at GSA?
Yeah, you know, that's a great question, and I'm sure a lot of folks out there know what GSA does, what PBS does, but let me just kind of start there, give a little bit of an overview, put a little context here, because we are a federal agency, and there's some challenges that we run into being a federal agency, roles, mandates, regulations, but on the other hand, it also gives us, I think, a great ability to scale and to try some new things out. GSA is a very progressive organization. 3 major service lines. Technology is one, which is brand new. We're just starting to spin it up, and when I say a service line, I mean offering services to the rest of the federal government. The Federal Acquisition Service is the contracting, the acquisition arm of the federal government. And of course, near and dear to my heart, near and dear to your heart, near and dear to everybody's heart here, is the Public Building Service. And we're the real estate arm of the federal government, primarily the civilian agencies. So about 1,500 owned assets, about 9,000 active leases, pretty close to 360 million square feet of office space, and we house over 1.2 million, about 1 million to 1.2 million federal employees. So full-fledged real estate organization, from portfolio management to design and construction to operating the buildings and ultimately to disposing some of the buildings as well. So it's really a dynamic organization, and of course I'm the one responsible for running the IT associated with this $10 billion organization, so it's kind of fun.
You have to be far more cautious than someone who is doing what you do at a smaller company, because you're not as maneuverable. Once you set down a path, that path is somewhat ground in stone. How do you handle that responsibility?
You know, Jerry, that's a really interesting point, because I see a paradigm shift. We're going to be more agile.
Really?
And yeah, we're going to be a little more progressive, and I'm going to share a story with you and give you my vision of where we want to take the IT organization within the Public Building Service. I visited my daughter who lives out here in San Jose, and got into the airport, and I said, Kirsten, you're going to come pick up Dad, you know, come on, I don't know where I'm going here. She goes, Dad, you're an IT guy, you use Uber. Everybody in San Francisco uses Uber. I says, Uber? So I got on my phone, she told me what to do, just click on this, download it, all right. Got on it, set up my profile, hailed a cab, told him what door I'm at, what terminal I'm at. Lo and behold, guy comes, picks me up, gets me to where I need to go, and I get out of the cab, right, walk into the building, and I get this email saying, here's your receipt, Mr. Klokis, and by the way, rate us. And I rated them, right? And then I found out that they also rated me, so there was a continuous feedback. And I got thinking about this process. It's very much a consumerized application. It's intuitive, it's easy to use. It has that continuous feedback. And I was amazed with that. I took that back, and we started to think about what we can do and how we can promote this type of concept to the enterprise. Came up with a strategy called Consumerize the Enterprise, which is my little way of saying we need to Uberize many of our applications and the way we do business in the federal government. And it really starts with the agileness, if you will, of the way we do things. And I think it's going to turn the industry, or turn the IT industry and the way people are dealing and delivering services to the IT services to the federal government on its end, because it's about agile contracting. It's about agile delivery. And it's really a cool concept, right? And how are we going to do it? It's not going to happen overnight, right? I mean, to a certain extent, I joked and said we're going to try to change, but it's going to take a while to change the ship.
Sure.
But nevertheless, I think we have to start really thinking a way that some of these small startups do and infuse that into the way the government does business. And I really want to be at the forefront of doing that. I think there's several pillars that we have in place that we're planning to do, and one is based upon cloud technology. And we're going to try to commodify, if that's even a word, some of the things that we're doing with our IT services. And government has a lot of acronyms, so I'll throw one out there. ASA, you know what that means? Service or infrastructure as a service, business as a service, so we're trying to commodify a lot of these services. And we're going to start with what we call our business services platform, where we're going to build infrastructure components in the cloud, the servers, the iron, so we have that, and the storage, so we have that elasticity in our environment. We'll be able to shrink and grow on demand by using cloud technology, and then we'll slowly build services on top of that. So it's going to be fun, it's going to be challenging, it's not going to happen overnight, but myself and the rest of the IT team at GSA, we're really excited about this. Open environment. I heard you mention this time and time again, and the group here mentioning the open operating environment. I think the days of these large proprietary systems are going to be something of the past. And we're going to move very strongly to the open source environment, and that's going to help build our services. Things like DevOps, development operations, where we can automate the entire development life cycle, is really going to change, and that's going to help us be more agile. And then of course, fail fast, fail forward, learn from it, and we're also going to do small bets too. We're going to do things in chunks, and we're not going to put that big $20 million investment out there. We're going to try to do that, maybe that $200,000, and with our agile iterative approach, we're going to try, fail, take it back, try again. So it's going to be exciting, really is.
It sounds like you have quite a vision for where GSA is going, and quite a concept of how you're going about doing it.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of unknowns,
sure.
And that's, I like to use the analogy of a block of Swiss cheese, right? And the block, or we got a lot of holes in this strategy, in this vision, but we got to start plugging these holes, right? And although I have an idea, I have a concept, it is still a concept, and it's going to take time to do it. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it takes us.
Very excited to see it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Phil.
Hey,
thank you
so
much.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for being here, and thanks for GSA for being here as well.
You bet, Jerry.
Phil
Take care.
Klokis from GSA. And